The best possible start.
So 12 on the grid. All 12 are happily sorted through the formation lap. 10 laps of Petronas Sepang International Circuit. Underway, flying start from 1 and 3. Kiatisuk got off to a really good start, as did Apiwat Wangtananon. In fact, Kiatisuk, the two ties, will be leading going into the first corner. Apiwat is there, also coming through. There was a little bit of debris flying off in the background there. Not sure where that came from.
No, it didn't look as though Apiwat had got away well, but he certainly got the power down as they got towards turn 1. It looked like Kiatisuk was going to get ahead.
Adianta Putra's made a decent start as well, bike number 21. And left a little bit behind, Mohammed Helmi Azman.
Currently P4, indeed. And Veda Ega trying to poke his nose in front of Helmi. That didn't work out, and he lost, tried to go for one place, he's lost another 2.
Certainly has. The ground is shaking as the bikes come flying past us, as Apiwat moves into a lead. A victory here will make life much, much easier for him in Buriram. He could just make sure he trundles round and gets points on the board to secure the title.
Yeah, no need to take risks, particularly as he is still recovering from having broken his left wrist a week before Mandalika. But he's got his main championship rival, Adinanta, just with him now.
Putting his nose out is Adinanta Putra, Astra Honda Racing.
Yeah, that was a beautiful move through on turn 14 by Azroy as well, to bag himself another place. Not such a beautiful line through turn 15, however, as he gets out of shape.
Going very, very close to the pit wall there was Apiwat Wangtananon. Showed no fear of confined spaces, and having been just edged out of P1, he retakes it back, accelerating down through the pit wall. 1 of 10 laps now completed.
Yeah, Helmi pushing Adinanta really hard for that P2. Azroy watching just behind. It looks like got a little gap opening up to McKinley Carl Paz in P5.
Adinanta Putra a couple of times has taken the lead, each time within a corner. It's been clawed back by Apiwat Wangtananon. And then the Sepang royalty.
It was, yeah, it was Helmi who is finding himself under pressure at every turn. Carl Paz, I beg his pardon, he's doing a brilliant job there. Helmi going wide and right round the outside there. And the lead has gone to Adinanta.
Oof. He used the full width of the track there. It's a wide enough track as it is.
Yeah, so Apiwat gets on to that penultimate straight in 3rd place. He goes into turn 15 first.
He's gone wide on both occasions, has Apiwat Wangtananon, and on both occasions he's been undercut, loses the lead over the start-finish line, then retakes it coming down the main straight.
Yeah, he's getting good drive out of that final turn, because I don't think there's much of a power difference or a speed difference between the Yamahas and the Hondas. In fact, just looking at the top speeds there,
250, 250.
250 dead, yeah.
Fastest was McKinley Carl Paz at 258. Not quite a veteran, but now a well-established rider, McKinley Carl Paz. Up at the front, Apiwat still leads the way.
Yeah, Kiatisuk has dropped off a bit, yesterday's P3 finisher. And now look who is trying to nudge his way through to the front. It's Azroy Anwar.
Good comment from Daniel in the pre-race, saying that the track temperature is much cooler than yesterday. In fact, a full 20 degrees cooler than yesterday.
Yeah.
So that might have an impact on the riding conditions. Apiwat versatile enough to cope with just about anything. Behind them, though, 20 is Azroy Hakim Anwar. He's improved. He's made a couple of setup changes. But Helmi Azman not performing as well as yesterday.
Yeah, lap times looking about 1.5 seconds slower than they were yesterday, which is no surprise.
21 Adelanto-Putra is in P3. This will be the end of lap number 3 as Helmi Asman is just eased out of P4.
Yeah, by Veda, no less.
Then they'll come through. It's a lovely scream of the bikes as they come past us. McKinley Paz on the Yamaha tries to edge his way into the top 4 and indeed does do. Once again, a problem there for Helmi Asman. Not finding it as comfortable as yesterday.
Why they're bunching up. Let's see if anybody can get past him in the next few turns. It's going to be the rider behind him, Azroy. And so he does. Adelanto tucked in very close behind, Helmi very close behind, McKinley Paz holding on to this group brilliantly.
Best laps yesterday, you mentioned it earlier. 2:10s, yes, mid 2:10s. We're a full second slower. We've got, right then, a new leader. Helmi goes wide though, coming up the hill at turn 9.
Yeah, that was a hard response, hard and immediate, almost preemptive response there from Apiwat as Helmi came up inside him.
Even if you've ridden this circuit hundreds of times as Helmi Asman has, there are a couple of positions where coming into turn 9 and into 1 and 2 where the undulations and the gradient can still take you, if not by surprise, but can catch you out if you get your braking remotely wrong.
Yeah, this is a real toss-up here at the moment. We've got Tanat on the back of these, just behind his teammate Kiatisak, so they're a little further back than we thought they might be, but they're only about 1.5 seconds off the lead, and the leader now, as they cross the line, is Azroy Hakim Anwar.
1.7 seconds the gap down to P8, which is Tanat. Reza Danica, Kengo Nagao and Wayo Nagrohu having their own little battle for P9 as Sharjun Tong comes through the start-finish line in P12.
So let's see what Azroy can do. Can he make an escape from the Thai Championship leader on that Yamaha? So that's really intriguing as Apiwat gets shuffled back to 3rd and just in front of his teammate, who for the first time this season looks as though he's going to threaten him.
Certainly does. And that's good for Yamaha. Probably good for Apiwat as well, because he thrives under pressure. But it's 20. Azroy Hakim Anwar, 2 wins this season in the Supersport 600cc to his name. He leads coming down the penultimate straight. Good little line. Adelanto is there. Helmi not quite to grips with it. The 2 Yamahas in front of him. Kyle goes, tries to just chop inside Helmi and does exactly that. Holds on to P4. Azroy Hakim leads. The lap time for Azroy Hakim just gone at 2:11.5. That's consistently what is happening. We do have a new fastest lap time though. Adelanto-Putra at 2:11 dead. So the lap times are getting quicker.
After this one, 4 laps remaining. They're in the early stages here. Looks as though Apiwat isn't quite able to manage the pace of the Hondas ahead of him. Question mark over Helmi Asman, who's a little way back now. He was, how far? About a second adrift as they cross the line. Adelanto moves ahead.
Adelanto needs a good result here. The championship needs Adelanto to have a good result. We want this competition going to the final corner of the final race of the season. And Apiwat, if Apiwat wins this, that is unlikely to happen.
Azroy, Adelanto, Apiwat, the 3 A's. Will it be a podium lockout for the letter A?
Helmi Asman there as well, if you take out the Helmi. Adelanto, he and Azroy having a rare old scrap up at the front. Unless they're helping each other just to establish a lead and get away from Apiwat Wangtananon, but that's not what is happening. Fastest lap belongs to Veda Ega.
Yeah, disappointing race one for both those riders at the front. Azroy finishing down the order. Adananta finishing well down the order after crashing.
Actually a DNF for Adananta Putra. That's what he was given officially. Which is his first DNF of the season, of an otherwise consistent season. Adananta Putra has only got one win to his name. That was at Mandalika last time out. This season started at Buriram, a couple of races. Zhuhai, where there was one race before day two was abandoned because of rain.
Yeah, Veda Ega just stood up Apiwat Wangtananon then to get in front of him. So Apiwat won't take very kindly to the kind of mugging that he's been getting.
I was going to say he's been bullied a little bit today, Apiwat Wangtananon. It's normally him who does the bullying, and once again McKinley Kalpaz takes him on the inside. Apiwat comes through though. Veda Ega is there, and Apiwat is feeling the heat from these young fellas.
Yeah, that was an impudent move that Veda took on him.
Championship points, bottom right of your screen. As it stands, Adananta had closed within 11 of Apiwat Wangtananon. Helmi had closed within 3 points of Azroy Hakim. Kiatisuk break the 100. That's as it stands at the moment.
Yeah, Azroy trying to move his way back to the front.
Adananta, he won at Mandalika. He's had 2 P3s at Mategi and at Buriram, and a P2 in Thailand. As you quite rightly said before, Apiwat Wangtananon had a win double, so Apiwat will be expecting at least one win when we go back to Buriram on the 7th and 8th of December.
Yes, he is. This is really impressive work from McKinley Kalpaz, the Filipino.
Coming up the hill at turn 9. Always a difficult one to negotiate. I'm just having a look at Apiwat to see whether he's going to make a move on VedaEgaPratama, the second of the Astra Honda racing guys. In focus.
Thinking about Helmi and Apiwat, you'd have to assume that all is not right with their machinery.
They were so far clear yesterday in race number 1. This time, this is the penultimate time that we will be coming down this straight. To the right, we've got the pits for the North circuit when they split Sepang into 2. 20 Azroy Hakim Anwar, 21 Adananta Putra, 23 McKinley Kalpaz, 54 VedaEgaPratama. That's the order as we come through. Tight line from McKinley Kalpaz, but it will be Azroy Hakim Anwar who leads coming into the final lap. Azroy leads. McKinley Kalpaz accelerates, different line. The pit boards are out. It is go, 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 the message. And look at that. McKinley Kalpaz tries to sweep into P2. Azroy, can he hold him off? The answer is yes. But Adananta Putra is the new race leader.
Yeah, McKinley Kalpaz looking for that inside line as they got into turn 2. It didn't work out. Azroy was too good.
Reza
But we've got
Danica.
Reza Danica.
He's out.
Mechanical problem for the Indonesian. Not a great weekend for him. Sorry, Des, but Adananta getting...
And of course, the line you take into the hairpin. Adananta Putra just tucks in behind the Prince of Sepang. On his own line was McKinley Kalpaz. Nice tight line from Azroy Hakim Anwar. Can he hold it? Azroy desperately leans into it. What kind of a drive does he get out? Azroy Hakim Anwar under pressure from Adananta, but Azroy Hakim Anwar, win number 3 of the season for Azroy Hakim. Adananta 2, VedaEga 3, Kalpaz 4, Apiwat 5, Tanat 6, Kiatatus 7. Well done, Azroy.
Good comeback from a disappointing race yesterday when he was 4 seconds or so off the winner. So he said, ominously, I thought, on the grid, that today was going to be much better. The day was much worse, you have to say, for Helmi Asman, finishing down in 8th. That's a surprise. More surprising, if anything, than Apiwat finishing down in 5th. So solid points for Apiwat, given the advantage that he came into this race with.
Very, very difficult for him to do it. Confirmation, Azroy Hakim Ammo. Hit him at 2 Bunchu.